Hi everyone, and welcome to the Brief Earth Creates YouTube channel. And today I'm sharing a video, another video for the Card Hoppin blog hub for the month of October. And the monthly theme for this month is your favorite holiday, and the technique is interactive cards or fun fold cards. And I am doing a interactive card featuring my favorite card making holiday, which is Halloween. I love doing Halloween cards because you get to add in so many other fun colors that you don't traditionally use throughout the year. And one important thing to note is that this month for the Card Hoppin video hop, we are doing a giveaway of a $50 gift certificate to scrapbook.com. Check out the Google link in the description below for more details on the certificate giveaway. So this month I am creating a card featuring a cute little bat from the Batty for You set from Pink and Main, and this set has coordinating dies that we're going to use in this card as well. So first I already went ahead and I ink blended up the background using some Distress Oxide inks. I used Salty Ocean, Seedless Preserves, Chipped Sapphire, and Black Soot Distress Oxide ink. And I used the star dies from the coordinating die set to die cut the stars. And I have about 3 panels here. One is the card front. Second is where we're going to lay out all of our stars in our light up circuit, and then I have the last panel for the battery holder. And I went ahead and I used the interactive die set from Kindred stamps to create the pull tab interactive mechanism. So for this card you actually need 2 different pull tabs. One for the moving mechanism so that the bat moves up and down, and the other is to get the lights to work. So the black one is to move the bats up and down, and the white one is for the lights to turn on when you pull the bat up. So first I'm adding a strip of copper tape to the pull tab flaps, and so that whenever you pull the tab up it will go in line with the rest of the copper circuit. So you want it to wrap around, so when you stick the little slits inside, the little tabs inside the slit, it will match up with the rest of your circuit. So now that I've added the copper tape, I'm going to use 1/8 inch thick foam tape to add some adhesive to the rest of the pull tab to stick it onto the back of the other pull tab. And sometimes I have a hard time getting the backing paper off of the pull tabs, but eventually it goes. And now I'm just going to stick the black pull tab right on top of the white pull tab. And it's going to cover a little bit of that circuit, but that part is okay. We don't really need that part of the circuit to be shown. You'll see why once we fully build the card. And you want to make sure that those 2 pieces are really adhered together really well. It looks funny right now, but it'll all make sense once we start building the light up circuit and the interactive mechanism. So now we can move on to building the light up circuit. I already went ahead and I traced the circuit out with a pencil just to save time. And so now we can just follow along the lines that I drew with my copper tape just to get the stars, make the stars light up. As you can see, the little dots in the center where I traced the stars, that's where we're going to have the sticker lights. So we can go ahead and start building our copper tape circuit. And I'm using the copper tape from Chibitronics and sticker lights from Chibitronics as well. And I decided to use blue sticker lights to create blue stars, just to kind of do something a little bit different and to coordinate with the sky. So I'm just going along and I'm following my pencil created path to create the positive circuit path. And the positive and the negative coordinate with the positive and negative sides of the battery that we're going to use for the light up circuit. And with pull tab light up cards, one thing you have to make sure of is that for at least one of your paths of the circuit, so either the positive or negative, the lights don't connect until after you run into the interactive mechanism. So that's why we had to create a circuit that runs all the way around after the interactive component to connect to the positive lights, or to connect to the lights on the left hand side and create a positive track. And I think once I lay out my circuit, you'll kind of get a better understanding of what I mean by that. So I'm just, now that I've built my main line, I am just running the extra little pieces to connect to the other stars on the right hand side. And now I'm starting onto the negative circuit. And I'm trying to run a long path all the way from the left hand side to the right hand side, connecting to all 5 stars. Sometimes I have a tricky time with creating an angled corner. Takes a little bit of practice. I'm still not there yet, but I'm working on it. So now I'm just adding the supplemental circuit lines for the negative track. And now I'm taking some conductive fabric patches to put over top of the areas where I added the supplemental copper tape, just to create a more conductive connection between all of the copper tape lines. And now I'm doing my favorite part of my copper tape circuits, is to take a bone folder and just run over the copper tape to make sure that they have a smooth connection with the paper. I just like the look of the copper tape after I've taken the bone folder to it and it looks all smooth and sheen. I don't know why. I just like that part. So moving back to the fabric patches, connecting these last 2 areas where I had to cut and then tape copper tape on top of each other. So now we can go ahead and add the blue sticker lights. And on each of the sticker lights, you'll see a letter indicating the color and a negative and a positive sign, so that you can line the sticker up the correct way to match with your positive and negative circuits on your circuits. And I start by laying the sticker down, and then I realize, oh, I have that one facing the wrong way, so I have to turn it around, which is the nice thing about these sticker lights, is that they're easy to pull back up and fix. That's the one tricky thing, is after you lay your after you cover your pencil tracks with the copper tape, sometimes it's nice to go back and remake the indications of the positive and negative along your copper tape tracks, so that you have an easier time laying out these sticker lights. And this time I unfortunately didn't do that. But once you lay down one sticker light, it's kind of easy to follow the same suit throughout the rest of your track, making sure that they're facing all the right way. And you want to make sure that your stickers are only on the positive side, only touching the positive side of the track, and the negative side is only touching the negative side of the track. If your tracks cross, then your light up mechanism is not going to work. Okay, now that we have all of the sticker lights down, and as you can see, I put I made sure the copy tape ran toward or along the back side of the card so that whenever we pull that interactive pull tab up, it's going to hit that copper tape on the back side. And I went ahead and I already added some foam tape to add to account for the height of the interactive mechanism and for the height of the battery as well. So I'm pulling the flaps towards the backside. As you can see, now the copper tape on the flaps lines up with the copper tape on the backside of the interactive mechanism. And I'm just going to use a little a little circle, and glue it down to the backside of the flaps so that the flaps don't pull through the interactive slot. And I'll just keep that in place. And that little circle die also is included in the uh, interactive die set from Kindred stamps. Okay, so now we have this awkward front flap, and we're just going to use that as you normally would with a regular interactive card and put that through the front of through the card front to make the bat move up and down. So now we're going to connect the negative track to the battery holder, and we want the copper tape of the negative track to run on the bottom of the battery holder because we're going to place the bottom side of the negative side of the battery on the bottom, excuse me, and then we'll run the positive side of the battery on the top. And we're going to add one more fabric conductive patch to cover that connection. And so I went ahead and I added foam tape again to account for the height of the battery and for the height of the interactive pull tab so that everything runs smoothly. And I also added a little flap on the front that'll keep the pull tab kind of straight when you're pulling it up and down. And you just want to test it to make sure that it works before you close it all up, and all the lights did light up, so it works, and therefore we can move on to building the rest of the card. So I grabbed a scrap piece of vellum to cover up the holes of the star outlines, and I'm putting some liquid glue around the perimeter of these stars to glue down the vellum. That way that the lights are a little bit hidden, and vellum's nice because it's transparent enough to let the lights shine through still, but it kind of masks the stickers behind them a little bit. And I decided to cut this scrap piece of vellum so that I didn't have to die cut the interactive slot one more time. Because you don't need the vellum across the whole back of the card front, you just need it to cover the star outline holes. And I'm just trimming off the excess vellum here. And now here's the trickiest part of the card, is getting the interactive tabs through the front slot and getting the whole back lined up with the rest of the card. Takes me a little bit to do this, but especially since all the foam tape's already on there and the backing's already peeled, but it'll work out. And there we go. So as you can see, when you pull the tab, the stars light up, and now we can take another little circle and glue it down so that the front flaps stay on the card front. And I created a little, the die set also includes these kind of pull tab indicators, and so I created these pull tab indicators to coordinate with the starry sky background. So now we can add the bat to the interactive pull tab. And I'm just using some foam tape to adhere the bat to the pull tab flaps that are in the front. So now when the bat moves up into the air, the stars light up. And to decorate the front of the card, I'm using some of the stars from the Batty for You stamp set, and I use the coordinating die sets to die cut these stars. And I already put some mini glue dots on the back of the stars so that I can just place them onto the card front. And now I'm adding a grassy border that I die cut with Kindred Stamps, the grassy border die cut. And I used, I think it's Distress Ink Mowed Lawn to kind of add a shaded look to the grass. And then I'm going to add one more fun feature which is a patch of pumpkins from the Magical Pumpkins digital stamp set from Streamside Studios, just so it looks like the bat is pulling. Excuse me, sorry about my dogs. So just so it looks like the bat is pulling a pumpkin from the pumpkin patch. So I'm adding one more thing to the front of the card, which is a cute little sentiment that says Batty for Halloween, and I'm adding it to the top right corner just to finish up the card front. And there is the finished card front. And now once you pull up the tab, you can't see it because I have the lights on too bright, but you can kind of see the blue stars. It shows a little bit better when you don't have a table light shining so brightly on top of the card. But there's my card. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed learning how to make a pull tab slider card. Once again, remember to enter into the giveaway that we have going on for a gift certificate to scrapbook.com. Check back soon for more fun interactive cards.